Hi everybody, Chef AJ here, and today I'm going to teach you how to saute without oil. This is a question I've been asked quite a bit over the last 20 years since I became a chef and culinary instructor, and I just want to show you how easy it is. So here you see I have a pan. I'm using a non-stick pan that happens to be made by Pampered Chef. I used to be a representative over 30 years ago, and this is still the pan I have. It's actually a saute pan, very much like a wok. It's coated with, I believe they call it hard anodized steel or something like that. But if you're not comfortable using nonstick, you could just get a good stainless steel pan. You could use waterless cookware. I always recommend, whenever you ask me a question like what kind of blank should I get, what kind of air fryer, pressure cooker, juicer, blender, always get the biggest and the best you can afford. So I have this pan on high. I've been preheating it. I always like to saute on high heat because I'm always in a hurry and I'm hungry, and it works really well, especially for the onions that I'm about to do. And so I can see if it's ready. I always have a cup of water, or if you're using no sodium vegetable broth, which I showed you how to make on a previous episode of Weight Loss Wednesday, J.L. Field's fabulous recipe. So whatever liquid you're using, you just take it and you drop it like this. I don't know if you can, yeah, I think you should be able to see that. You see how it makes these little beads that just kind of bounce off the pan? Well, now you know. You see, that's kind of fun, isn't it? Like, now you know it's ready. So now I'm going to put in my onions. You can hear that sizzle. And I'm just going to wait. Now, it'll be interesting to see how long this takes. The last time I did a video on caramelizing onions, I think it took under 10 minutes. So starting with a hot pan really helps. And of course, you always want to use a spatula if you're using nonstick that's not metal, because if you want your nonstick pans to last, then you don't want to scrape them. That's when they're dangerous, especially if you have a bird, like if the Teflon is cut. But if you use a soft type of spatula instead of metal, and a non-abrasive cleanser, and not steel wool, these can last a really long time. A lot of people like to use something called Copper Chef, which comes in different shapes and sizes. You can get these online. You can get them at Bed Bath & Beyond and use your discount. At True North, they use stainless steel. A lot of the PCRM cooking instructors use something called waterless cookware. They're using a brand called Salad Master that's quite expensive for the average consumer, but if you like the idea of waterless cookware, there are other brands that are less expensive than Salad Master. I don't recommend cast iron. If you want to know why, please read Dr. Neil Barnard's book, Power Food for the Brain. You don't want to get aluminum in your food. But really, any pan will work. And if you don't want to use a pan at all, please refer to my book on process, where I teach you how to caramelize onions in the oven, just using a wonderful recipe by Chef Zell Allen, who's the proprietor of the blog Vegetarians in Paradise and the author of a book called Vegan for the Holidays and Nut Gourmet. So I am using today sweet onions. These aren't the Vidalia. These are just the ones they sell at Costco in the big bag. So, I don't know, a huge bag, like, I don't know, 12 or 16 onions, like, I don't know, $5 or $6. I love the taste of these onions, but mainly I like them because when I cut them, they don't make me cry. I really do love the flavor of red onions so much, but for some reason those really, really burn my eyes. And if you don't want to cut onions, you could just get them already cut. I know people say, oh, they don't have health benefits. That's not true. So it's easier for you to do it that way, and you're going to eat onions, then it's better to get them cut. And I have lots of wonderful tools I've showed you, like the Vidalia Chop Wizard or the Power Chef Pro that makes cutting onions very easy. So as it starts to brown, you can see I'm just going to move it around. You can see how quickly it browns. One of the reasons also that, at least for this video, that I'm using the sweet onions is because the red ones, they don't look brown when you caramelize them. So I'm just showing you how when you do it this way, I haven't so far added any water. When you do it this way, you can for sure get them nice and brown and caramelized. So especially if you're eating them, like say on a veggie burger, I've got 4 great veggie burger recipes in my newest book, The Secrets to Ultimate Weight Loss, which I hope you'll check out. Two of them have beans and two of them don't, and they're really, really good. One is called the World's Best Beanless Bean Burger. See, I'm just moving it around. If it does try to stick, or if I think it's going to brown, I will just add a little bit of water, but so far I haven't needed it. I've got a really delicious Chipotle bean burger. I've got the World's Best Beanless Bean Burger. Chef Bravo contributed a recipe for a burger, and then I have one made with sun-dried tomatoes and artichokes that is really, really good. So what I'm saying is, when you're eating on a burger, you really do want to caramelize them. In my opinion, they taste so much better than a mouthful of raw onion. Now, there's a lot of secrets to SOS-free cooking. That's the kind of cooking I do. Actually, SOFAS-free, S-O-F-A-S, stands for sugar, oil, flour, alcohol, salt. I eat this way not only for health, but because I used to weigh almost 200 pounds and was obese for over 50 years, as well as suffering from food addiction. So I eat the same diet that Dr. Alan Goldhammer, one of my 3 mentors, has eaten for over 40 years, since the age of 16, which he does for optimal health. It's the same diet that all the people that are in the NHA, the National Health Association, formerly the National Hygiene Association, eat. So that doesn't include any sugar, oil, and salt. You know, if somebody is not overweight or not food addicted, doesn't have a disease like heart disease, diabetes, or autoimmune disease, and they wanted to follow Dr. McDougall's recommendation for sugar and salt, a little bit sprinkled on the food, you know, I don't have a problem with that as long as you have met your health and weight goals. But I don't think anyone should or needs to be eating oil, whether they're vegan or not. It's not a health food, it's a hurt food. It's a highly processed food not found in nature. It's for cars, not people. It's the most calorically dense food, and I use that term loosely, on the planet. 4,000 calories a pound. The Forks Over Knives Dr. Matt Letterman, Alona Pulde have written many good articles about that, and of course I really recommend the movie Forks Over Knives if you want to really understand why it's so deleterious to your health and unnecessary, as well as the book Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease, or just put Dr. Eselstyn's name on YouTube and you can see his wonderful lecture. So you can see we've been going for 7 minutes now, and I still haven't had to add anything to the pan. Now, I could stop now, but I just want to show you. You can just keep going and get these as brown as you like. So I'm just going to add just a tiny bit of water now, just a boom, like that, just to prevent any possible sticking, and then move it around a little bit more. I wish you guys could smell how good this smells. The whole house smells good. You know, really, I think the secret to any good recipe or any cooking is starting with an onion. I really think if I ever wrote another cookbook, which really I don't want to do, I'm working on some other ideas now with my publisher and my co-writer, but I might write a book called It All Starts with an Onion, because especially salt-free cooking, I don't know how anybody creates flavor without the onion. As much as I love garlic, there are people that are allergic, and you can still create delicious flavors without garlic, but without an onion, I really don't know how to make food taste good. I'm going to be real honest with you, especially when it's cooked, and it becomes very, very mellow when it's cooked and quite delicious. And, you know, as much as I'd love for you to buy one of my 3 books, I have probably over 300 published recipes now, the truth is, if you could just learn some very simple cooking techniques like what I'm showing you right now, like how to saute without oil, you really don't need recipes. And if you're somebody that struggles with your weight or food addiction, probably the fewer the cookbooks, the better. And probably books without pictures are best, because those pictures can really be triggers for people that are suffering. That's one of the reasons I didn't put photos in my book. Just a little bit more water just to show you. There are only, to my knowledge, 4 SOS-free cookbooks in the world, truly SOS-free, sugar, oil, salt-free cookbooks. They're all sold at the True North Health Center and at Amazon. One is my new book, The Secrets to Ultimate Weight Loss. One is Kathy Fisher's fabulous book called Straight Up Food. One is Chef Ramses Bravo's awesome book called Bravo. And then, of course, the first one, which was written by Dr. Alan Goldhammer, called The Health Promoting Cookbook. So, in my opinion, that's really all the books you need to succeed. Probably over 400 recipes there. But if you want to venture out into more specifics, like the cookbook for your Instant Pot, I totally recommend all of Kathy Hester's books. She's a fabulous recipe creator, and even though she may use things like a little oil and salt and sugar, she is so wonderful about including everybody in every recipe, whether they can't have suts was my, I was going to say soy or nuts, that her recipes are fabulous. So there we go. I think that's pretty much well done enough, but again, when I want to add a little water, what I do is I push the onion away and just like that, boom, and done. Okay, so this is not a recipe. This is just how I start everything. But what I'm going to do is I live next door to a wonderful mom and pop fruit and vegetable store called Farm Boy. I recently did a Facebook Live showing you all the stuff they have. And I just picked what looked good to me today, just sort of like at a farmer's market. And they had a blend of asparagus, mushrooms, what else is in here? Parsley and scallions. So I'm going to put this in now, but before I do, I'm going to put this in now, and not before the garlic. So I'm going to put this in, and most places like Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, even the regular Kroger's, which here is called Ralph's, will have some kind of like a daily farmer's market blend. Oh, there's a couple of onions in here I didn't see. I'm going to take these out only because I have onion in here already. And Trader Joe's has like this wonderful fajita blend. So, you know, again, you can just buy whatever you want. I like pretty much I really do like all vegetables. Not real crazy about celery, just because I had something, GI problems, and I was told not to eat it, so maybe that's why I developed a little bit of an aversion, because I'm afraid to eat it. But other than that, I pretty much love all vegetables. So we're just going to saute these, and you see, mushrooms are so high in water that you probably aren't going to need to add water or very much, just because they give up so much water. So we'll just let this go for a little bit. And I kind of go by sound. I don't know if you can hear this, but I can kind of tell if the pan is getting too dry. And it won't stick because it's non-stick. But if I feel like it is, again, just a little bit of water. Or broth if you're using broth. So everything starts with an onion. There we go. So seasonings, I much prefer fresh to dried. And I love this little tool so much. This is the part of the Power Chef Pro, because I don't have the best knife skills, and if I can't get it already cut up, what's in here is just some fresh organic ginger and garlic. And I take this really cool little machine, and all I do is, hard to do it without being on a surface, is I pull it a few times, and it's so great for small jobs like little bits of ginger and garlic, or when I use fresh turmeric, which I love to do. I just put all of it in here and pull. You can do it as fine or as coarse as you want, and then it's all cut up nicely. And I use this tool every day because my dog Bailey eats fresh carrots in her food, cooked. And she doesn't like it when I cut them up in advance. She only likes fresh chopped, and it's just real easy. So a little bit more water, there we go. I do prefer using fresh herbs and spices to dried. I do use some Benson's Table Tasty, which is a wonderful salt-free seasoning. You can get 10% off by using my name, AJ. And if you do end up getting my book, The Secrets to Ultimate Weight Loss, there's a whole section in the back of my favorite things and all the discount codes that I have with the various companies like Be Ma and Pa's Vinegar and Instant Pot and the Napa Valley Naturals Vinegar. So check that out, and we'll just keep going here for a little bit longer. And so, you know, one of the things you might want to do if you're trying to get healthy, especially if you are suffering from cravings or food addictions, is eat some greens every day. And so once we get these mushrooms cooked down, we're going to add our greens. And you know, I could make things go faster by just putting this little cover over it, and I probably will end up cooking the greens that way. So here I have just some fresh organic kale. This is the dark kale. And I use this little tool called the Ulu to get, I don't like big mouthfuls of kale, so I kind of made like ribbon cuts, and I use this tool called the Ulu, which you can get at ulufactory.com for $20, or if you go to Alaska, you can get it at the Alaska airport. It's similar to a mezzaloon, which you may be able to get at Bed Bath & Beyond if they used to carry it. So I want the mushrooms to be as caramelized as the onions. And this just has so much flavor. What I'm doing right now, just mushroom and onion. I mean, yes, there was a little bit of other vegetables in it because I bought it as a blend. There's a couple of stalks of asparagus and some shallots and parsley, but just the onion and mushroom, that's enough to just rock your world. Both of these together, sauteed, caramelized, can go on your veggie burger. They can just be a great side dish. You can add it as a topping to a stuffed baked potato or sweet potato, or serve it over any kind of a cooked grain, millet, rice, quinoa. So really, you know, I mean, again, I'm not against recipes or trying to get you not to, you know, buy books if you want. I love that you support plant-based people, but really the best thing to do is just learn some basic kitchen skills, batch cooking. You know, I think it's great that they're having all these online courses, but I think it's so much better to just take an in-person course. Even if you don't have a culinary school where you live, I would bet that there is a college or community college or trade school or junior college where you can just learn some of these techniques, because the problem with these online courses, even the video that I'm showing you now, is you really don't get to taste it, and it's just so much better, in my opinion, to learn hands-on. Because like even in culinary school, like you could watch a video to learn how to use a knife, but in culinary school, where the teacher would come behind us and hold our elbow and hold our shoulder so we knew what it was supposed to feel like. So that's what I really recommend. But sauteing without oil is not hard. You don't need any oil, and sometimes, depending on your pan, to do steam frying or dry sauteing, you really don't even need any liquid. It's always good to have some as a backup. And as far as baking without oil, well, you know, I've done so many webinars on the subject, and I have a dessert book called A Date with Dessert that shows you how to make decadent desserts without oil. You know, sugar, oil, and salt, it really is the easiest thing to not use. It's very hard for people to go without salt, especially if they've been eating a lot of it or eating processed food, whether it's vegan or not. And sugar is very hard for people, but oil is probably the easiest. And the great thing about eliminating oil is when you eliminate oil, you don't need salt, or at least not as much. Because you see, oil coats the taste buds of your tongue so that you really just can't taste what you're eating unless you add a lot of salt. This is looking so, so delicious. Now, I'm just going to show you something that I'm not going to use, but if you wanted to, sometimes my husband will add a little bit of this to his food. This is called raw coconut aminos, and instead of having 2,300 milligrams of sodium per serving, it has only 95, so you could ostensibly have 24 teaspoons or 8 tablespoons of a soy sauce product for the same amount of sodium as just 1 teaspoon of salt, and I doubt that anybody would use that much. So it's a much better choice, as is low sodium miso. Brands that I've seen at Whole Foods and online are called South River and Cold Mountain, and they're about 115 milligrams of sodium. And of course, miso also has some health properties that Dr. Greger loves. So this looks pretty good. I don't want to keep you guys more than 20 minutes because I've been getting some great feedback that you prefer the shorter videos. If you like longer videos, I've got 75 episodes of Weight Loss Wednesday. I hope you'll subscribe to me on YouTube, and you can watch those. But most of the time I'm doing a previously recorded episode each week, a recipe from my book, The Secrets to Ultimate Weight Loss. So now I'm going to add as many greens as the pan will allow, right on top. And I really don't like to cook my greens. Oops, I forgot to add my ginger and garlic, but that's okay. I can add it now. It's not a problem. And I am just going to add this little bit of water that I have left. And I'm going to stir it up. Oh, I wish you guys could smell this. It's so good. I could eat this whole thing myself, and maybe I will, but I'm supposed to have company tonight. I don't think I'm going to let them know that I made this, because it's just too good, you know, seriously. And, you know, if you're a heart patient, especially if you know who Dr. eEslestyn is, he wants you eating this 6 times a day. So we'll just put that like that, and it's pretty much almost cooked. Like I said, if I wanted to go faster, I can just put a lid on it, and I have been cooking on high this whole time. Now what I'm going to do when it's done is I always finish my greens with a couple tablespoons of organic fresh lime juice. It could be lemon juice or some kind of vinegar. Dr. eEslestyn always recommends having greens with vinegar to increase nitric oxide, that wonderful chemical that helps our endothelial cell. And also when you use vitamin C, with green, it helps you absorb the iron as well. But I also like to finish it with a really good quality balsamic vinegar. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to use the garlic cilantro infused or the white garlic infused. Be Mon Paz makes the most delicious reduced balsamics, both white and dark. And with my name, Chef AJ, all caps, you can get 10% off at bemonandpaz.com. So there we have it. It's done. Yes, this did take 20 minutes, but you could make it go faster some way. I'm going to take it off the heat in a second. I'm going to add my lime juice now. There we go. And that's that. Supreme greens. What can I say? I wish I probably had a little bit more greens, but I only bought one head of kale, but it will still be amazing. So make sure you get your greens, by any greens necessary. And please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, Chef AJ, where you're watching this video right now. And also, if you'd like to be on my mailing list at evenprocess.com, we'll send you 6 great recipes. So thanks so much for watching. And as I like to say, eat your greens.